All right, everybody, welcome back to Duffy's channel. I just wanted to take a quick video. I tried, but my phone isn't letting me store a long video, so I have to make this brief. This is, I believe, a 2021 ATV. It's an AT125UT, as you can see right there. We picked this up from Tractor Supply. I haven't had any issues with it. I just wanted to go over some basics super quick with you. When you first get this thing, please do all this stuff. It's going to save you a headache in the future, and it's going to make your Coleman last a long time. So first, the very first thing, most important, is you need to drain the oil. So right underneath, you can't miss it. If you look under there, there's a 17mm bolt. Drain all that out. It comes with shipping oil. It doesn't come with your riding oil that you should be using. It comes with shipping oil, so drain it out. There might not be anything in there, but whatever is in there, try to drain it out. It's probably assembly lube or something. And you have your fill up, which is right there behind that side panel. So what I did is I used my 10W40. The Coleman calls for a 15W40, but you typically can't find that in the store, so that the 10W40 is the alternative. Drain it out, and it takes 0.8 of a quart. So if you pour a quart in there super fast, whatever's remaining over, the little drips at the end, don't put it in, save it for, a top off in the future. So 1 quart, 10W40, that's what I use. The other thing about it is you have these grease fittings, top and bottom. You have 4 of them on each side in the front, and you got 1 in the rear. This one in the rear is way back there on the back side of the spring. It's hard to even see from here. But grease all those fittings. Make sure your chain is good, and make sure all the bolts, just give it a look, a look over. The one thing I did have to do are these tie rods in the front. I did have to tighten these up, tighten them up, re-put the pin and all that in there, greased everything up. And then what I do is, you can see I have some markings here on the spring, because I raised mine up all the way to the max. If I was to go one more, that would drop it lower. So the higher it is, the heavier weight that you could put on there, the stiffer it's going to be. So I raised the front and the rear all the way up as much as it'll go. The last thing that you should do, just run it on regular fuel. It's not a mix. You could put premium there. It's not going to hurt it, but you could just run it off regular. Key, switch, and then your start button. Now, right now I have the brake on, the little safety brakes, but it won't do anything. You have to have this brake applied. You don't have to do it like this, but if you just hold the brake in either side, then it'll start. I'm not going to start it now because I'm in the garage, but just make sure you have your brake, one of your brakes held in when you start it. I think that's a safety thing if the vehicle's in gear. The other thing real quick is I have a pad here. I ride with my kids, so my butt is usually right there, so I put this little pad on there, because that's typically where I'm sitting. I got the kids in the front. But this company, Mad Dog, actually makes an ATV, seat that you put in the back. It's just essentially paddings with some bags. But I think if I strap that down good enough and I fill the bags with some stuff, it'll act like a rear seat for the kids. So when that comes in, I'm going to try that out. But yeah, that's it. Definitely 100%, guys. You have to drain that oil before you even start this thing up. Don't even start it up at the store. If they're messing with it at the store, tell them, it's got to be filled up with oil first. So drain that assembly, the shipping oil that they put in there, drain that out, put some 10W40 or 15W40 in there, 1 quart. And that's it. Haven't had any issues with it. Just make sure you grease everything, check the oil all the time. A lot of people that are doing these modifications, if you're putting carbs and exhaust and stuff on here, these engines aren't meant to over rev. That's why they're blowing up, and that's why people have problems, because they're literally beating the shit out of them until they die. So there's simple things you could do to the exhaust if you want to modify the exhaust. In the rear, you could do the can, and then some of them have like a admissions thing that goes back to the carburetor. You have like a PCV valve kind of deal. You can eliminate that. You can mess with the carb filter, but I wouldn't be dropping, these crazy carbs on there and a huge full exhaust, because you're just going to blow your motor up. You'll get more speed and you'll get higher revving. It'll be faster, But there's a reason why these vehicles don't do that, because it's not meant for that and it'll blow up. So just be careful with that. Try not to over rev these machines for the longevity of it. Change the oil, you guys should be good to go. All right, we'll see you on the next video. Ooh, Mustang VW. Maybe you'll see that in the other videos, guys. Take it easy.